The Water Margin, Chapter 21.
We have to understand who Song Jiang is supposed to be. The source material, it paints him as this larger-than-life figure, a heavenly star destined for greatness.
He's the ideal administrator, good at paperwork, resolving criminal cases, all of that. But his real reputation, his nickname, comes from his charity.
His benevolence.
Exactly. He's famous for saving the imperiled and aiding the distressed. The guy literally gives away coffins and medicine to the poor. That's his brand.
And that brand, that specific virtue, is what sets this whole tragedy in motion. Now, just before this, he's been in a secret meeting with a bandit, Tang. So he's already distracted, right?
He is. He's preoccupied. And as he's walking home, the matchmaker, Wang Po, stops him. She sees an opportunity.
What's her angle? What's the story she tells him?
It's the perfect story to hook a man like Song Jiang. She introduces him to a woman, Yan Po, whose family is from the capital, Tokyo. They're performers, but now they're stranded.
Stranded how?
Her husband just died of a sudden pestilence. They have absolutely no money. They can't even afford to bury him. For a man whose entire reputation is built on providing that basic dignity, well, it's an irresistible plea.
Okay, so this is where it all starts. Song Jiang's response isn't just, here's a few coins. It's overwhelming.
It's immediate and it's total. First, he just writes a note to get them a coffin. Problem 1 solved. But then he asks if they need anything else for the funeral.
And they have nothing.
Nothing. So he gives them 10 ounces of silver.
10 ounces? You have to understand, that is a staggering amount of money for a local official to just hand over.
Oh, it's life-changing. It's not pocket change. It's more than a laborer would make in a year. This is an act of, frankly, almost reckless generosity.
And the mother's reaction says it all. She calls them her parents reborn. She promises they'll repay him as a donkey or a horse.
Right. And the source makes a point of telling us that after the funeral was all paid for, they still had 5 or 6 ounces of silver left over. He didn't just help, he set them up.
And that's when the calculation begins. The mother, Yan Po, sees that leftover silver and immediately starts thinking long-term.
She does. She notices Song Jiang lives alone, and she goes right back to the matchmaker with a proposal.
An unsolicited proposal.
Completely. She basically lays out a business case. Her daughter, Yang Po, she is 18. She's quite beautiful, and she's a talented singer. She even mentions that high-class courtesans in Tokyo wanted to buy her daughter, but she refused.
Why refuse then, but offer her now?
Well, back then, she says she needed her daughter to care for them in their old age. But now, offering her to Song Jiang isn't selling her, it's becoming kin. It's repaying a debt by creating a permanent, secure connection.
It sounds less like a relationship and more like a financial arrangement with her daughter as the living collateral.
That's exactly what it is. That 10 ounces of silver just bought him a lifelong obligation he never asked for.
And you can tell Song Jiang is just not built for this kind of thing. He resists at first.
He does. But the matchmaker, Wang Po, is relentless. The text calls it her persistent coaxing. He's a hero who can face down armed men, but he just can't handle the social pressure.
So he gives in, he rents an apartment for them, furnishes it, and sets them up. He provides everything.
Everything material, yes. And the description of Yan Po, she is so important here. The source goes on and on. Flower face, jade quality, brows like a half moon. She's covered in pearls and gold. Her tiny bound feet, the narrow golden lotuses, are mentioned. She is presented as the perfect, beautiful prize.
But that's where the mismatch is, isn't it? The fatal flaw in the whole plan.
It's the absolute core of the tragedy. Song Jiang has acquired this beautiful young woman, but he has zero interest in her emotionally or physically.
The source is so blunt about it. It says he's a haohan, a good fellow who only loves learning the spear and staff.
Right. And that female company is just not very important to him. He's a hero of the public sphere, brotherhood and justice, but he is a complete failure in the private one.
So you have this girl, she's 18, 19, full of life. Water-like youth is the phrase they use. And she's just neglected.
Utterly. The text says his absence did not satisfy the woman's desire. He gave her a golden cage, but he starved her of any actual human connection.
Wait, I have to stop you there. This is the great hero, the man of justice and propriety. How does that square with this level of just callous indifference? Is that believable?
It is, because it's the tragedy of that specific hero archetype. His honor is all external. It applies to his sworn brothers, to the public, to abstract justice. But women in that worldview are secondary. It's not active malice on his part. It's just profound, culturally ingrained negligence. His real life is outside the home.
Which leaves a giant vacuum inside the home.
A vacuum that's about to be filled. Because Song Jiang makes his single most catastrophic mistake. He brings a friend home for a drink.
His fellow scribe Zhang Wenyuan, or Little Zhang San.
The catalyst. And look at his description. Handsome eyebrows and clear eyes, white teeth and red lips. He's a musician, a poet, a man who, unlike Song Jiang, is very comfortable in the world of pleasure and romance.
He's everything Song Jiang isn't.
Exactly. So Po Shi, who the text describes as a wine and lustful prostitute character, meaning she's driven by passion, sees him and immediately recognizes a kindred spirit.
And it's instant.
Instant. She gives him a look. He returns it. The second Song Jiang gets up to wash his hands. Such a mundane little detail. She starts talking to him. The opportunity was all they needed.
And that's where we get that classic saying,
The wind doesn't come, the tree doesn't move, the boat doesn't rock, the water isn't stirred. Song Jiang himself brought the wind that would wreck his entire life.
So the affair begins. Zhang San starts visiting all the time, using the excuse that he's looking for Song Jiang.
And they become inseparable, like glue and lacquer, the text says, night and day.
Now, here's the part that gets me. Song Jiang hears the rumors, and his reaction isn't anger, it's nothing. He just avoids her. He stops visiting for a whole month.
It's what you could call rationalized cowardice. He actually thinks it through. His logic is, she is not a wife matched by my parents.
Ah, technicality.
A loophole of honor. Because she's a concubine, not a formal wife, he feels he can just emotionally abandon her. He tells himself, if she has no mind to love me, why should I be needlessly angry? He just wants the problem to go away.
But it doesn't go away, because her mother's entire retirement plan is walking out the door.
And that's the climax. The mother, Yan Po, hunts him down in front of the county office and makes a huge public scene. She physically grabs his sleeve and will not let go.
She's begging him to come back, to ignore the gossip, and Song Jiang, who's described as a quick-tempered person, is just cornered. He's being publicly humiliated.
He finally just gives in to make it stop. He says, you let go of my hand and I will go. But she doesn't. She drags him all the way home.
Which leads to this absolutely disastrous scene. They get to the apartment, and Po Shi is upstairs waiting, but she's not waiting for Song Jiang.
No, she's sitting by a lamp, waiting for her beloved Senlang Zhang San.
And the mother, still trying to fix this, calls up to her.
She calls up the worst possible thing. She says, my daughter, your beloved Senlang is here.
Oh, no. So Po Shi thinks her lover has finally arrived. She comes rushing down the stairs, and she is furious. He's late. She's yelling, short-lived one, you made me wait too long. And she's ready to slap him.
It's all her pent-up passion. The very thing Song Jiang has denied her, finally exploding.
And then the light from the lamp hits his face.
The glass lamp, the source notes, it's bright. And she sees him. She sees Song Jiang. The wrong man, the man who pays the bills. She just turns around, storms back upstairs, absolutely livid.
The tension must have been unbelievable. Upstairs, she won't even look at him. She just insults him from her bed.
She says, he is not blind. Why doesn't he come up by himself? And Song Jiang, he says nothing. He just sits there with his head down, humiliated, trapped.
The mother comes up, tries to smooth things over, says she'll go get some wine, but she sees him inching toward the door, trying to escape.
And she makes her final move. She goes out and she latches the door from the outside. A big, heavy latch.
She locks him in.
She physically imprisons the hero in a bedroom with a woman who despises him. And Song Jiang's last thought in this section says it all. That old bod calculated me first. He realizes he's been outmaneuvered from the very beginning. Is, let's be honest, trying to get out of a commitment he regrets. And then the puppeteer of the whole scene, her mother, Mother Yan.
Mother Yan is the engine here. The entire conflict, everything that happens, rests on her desperate last-ditch attempt to force intimacy.
Right. To fix a relationship her daughter has already just completely shredded.
Exactly. Because for Mother Yan, Song Jiang isn't a son-in-law or a partner. He is a crucial income stream. And she has this idea that if she can just get them to spend one night together,
everything will be fixed.
Or at least the money will keep flowing. She can secure their future.
So the stage is set for an absolute disaster, but it starts with such meticulous, almost loving preparation. It feels like she's trying to bribe the gods of marriage with food.
Oh, absolutely. And we really need to appreciate the detail the author gives us about this setting. Mother Yan is putting on a performance of domestic perfection.
But the details kind of betray the reality, don't they?
They totally do. Tell me about the preparations. The sources give us these really vivid, almost cinematic descriptions.
Well, she starts by making sure the food is warm, which is essential, but it's how that's so telling. She fires up the stove with leftover water. The text calls it fit washing soup.
Which is just such a perfect small detail. It immediately grounds you in this working class world where nothing is wasted. Their lives are defined by these grinding realities.
It's a detail that just screams, we are poor and we are desperate, even if we are hosting a man of reputation.
And then she comes up the stairs with this large wooden tray, and it's loaded with high-value stuff. Fresh fruit, tender chicken, fish, rich, dried fish. She's sparing no expense to sell this illusion.
But the second the food is on the table, the illusion just shatters. The visual tension is immediate.
It's crushing. Song Jiang, this powerful clerk, is just reduced to sitting there looking down, avoiding eye contact. He's trying to disappear.
While Pashi is actively turned away, staring at the wall. I mean, they are physically refusing to even acknowledge the man who's paying their bills.
It's a complete standoff. And when Mother Yan tries to get her daughter to do something, anything, like serve the wine.
Oh, Xi's refusal is not just sullen. It's theatrical.
She doesn't just say no.
No, she snaps, I am impatient. And then she escalates it immediately, saying she'd rather a flying sword take her head off than serve him.
And that's a huge signpost, isn't it? It tells the reader right away, okay, there is zero hope for reconciliation here. This woman's contempt is so total, she'd rather die violently than perform this basic duty.
Her rage is just palpable. So how does Mother Yan react to this? Her entire financial plan is just crumbling in front of her.
Well, first she tries to buffer it with charm. She laughs it off and appeals directly to Song Jiang's ego, calling him a romantic figure.
Right, she's basically saying, oh, you're a man of the world, clerk. You won't take offense at my spoiled child's temper.
It's an attempt to guilt him into accepting the abuse, just to keep the fragile peace alive.
But she has to realize pretty quickly that gentle persuasion is just not going to work.
It's futile, so she moves to phase 2. Intoxication and manipulation. She literally tries to chemically alter the reality of the room.
Right. And Song Jiang is a man of honor, so he's easily pushed by social convention. He drinks 3 to 5 cups just because she's pressuring him.
He's drinking to be polite, to avoid a bigger fight.
But Poji's participation is purely cynical. We get this rare look inside her head. She only takes half a cup, and her thinking is crystal clear. If I don't get him drunk, he will definitely pester me.
Yeah, she's thinking a tipsy Song Jiang is less likely to press the issue of, conjugal rights than a sober one. Her focus is all on protecting her access to her real lover, Zhang San.
She is navigating this purely for her own desires.
Meanwhile, Mother Yan is focused purely on the bottom line. Her internal hope is laid bare. If she can just trap him tonight, force a physical reconciliation, she thinks all the anger will be forgotten.
And their financial security will be restored.
So she decides she needs to step up her game.
And that apparently requires some self-medication.
Oh, yeah. She goes downstairs and intentionally gets sloshed. She drinks 3 big draughts of wine, then another whole bowl, and comes back visibly tipsy. The text describes the feeling as an itchy numbness.
It's a great way to describe that point where liquid courage just takes over.
And what does drunken Mother Yan do? She becomes the verbal equivalent of a smoke machine. Just fills the air with noise.
Exactly. She gets super verbose, gossiping about the neighbors, throwing out colorful words, just anything to fill that agonizing silence.
She's trying to talk them into sleeping together.
And the narrative actually pauses here, doesn't it? It's like it breaks the fourth wall to give the reader a warning. It cites a poem.
It's like an ancient literary warning label. The poem says something like, false intention and sham are just like truth. Flowery words and clever phrases ply the spirit.
It's a direct condemnation of manipulation. It's warning that even clever people, like Song Jiang, can get trapped by this kind of performance.
The story itself is telling you that Mother Yan's act is treacherous.
So the manipulation is peaking, the mother is jabbering, Song Jiang is cornered, and Poche is calculating. And just as the tension becomes unbearable,
The whole scene is shattered by an outside variable. Enter the chaos element, Tang Niur.
and Niur is not some random guy. He's a local pickle seller, a hanger-on. But the key detail is he's financially indebted to Song Jiang.
Song Jiang often subsidizes him, so he's a loyalist, but right now a desperate one. He lost gambling, he needs money, he needs a powerful friend.
And that desperation is the catalyst, isn't it? It's brilliant. A man motivated by this small-scale financial need crashes into this high-stakes standoff.
And what's fascinating is he already knows what's going on. He's not walking in blind. The text says he knows that Yan Poshi and Zhang San are burning hot.
And that Song Jiang is being played for a fool.
So he sneaks upstairs, looks through a crack, and sees the whole disaster playing out. He knows Song Jiang needs an exit.
And this is where that amazing nonverbal communication happens. Tang Nearer walks in, and Song Jiang gives him this tiny, subtle signal. He just nudges his mouth downward.
A clear signal for a distraction. A way out, now.
And Tang Nearer, being street smart, gets it instantly. He launches into this ruse, claiming the county magistrate is furious about some urgent business.
And has sent 4 or 5 runners to find Song Jiang immediately.
It's the perfect excuse. A trusted clerk has to answer a summons from his boss. Song Jiang is saved. He can bolt, save face, and avoid the whole night.
Except he didn't account for Mother Yan's laser focus on her money. Even completely drunk, she is hyper alert to any threat to her income stream.
Her rejection of the lie is instantaneous. She calls Nearer a smart thief and tells Song Jiang not to use this trick.
And she argues, pretty logically that the magistrate would be home drinking with his wife, not dealing with urgent business at this hour.
And she backs it up with this incredible line. She says her eyes are like glass gourds, seeing straight through the lie.
She knows exactly what's happening. Song Jiang is trying to escape, and she will absolutely not let him.
And this is the point where her desperate persuasion turns into violent defense of her livelihood. She attacks Nearer, shoves him down the stairs by his neck.
And then she screams the justification for it, and it's a proverb that basically defines the stakes of the whole world of water margin.
She says, destroying someone's business livelihood is like killing their parents and wife.
I mean, that's not just a drunken rage. That is a financial manifesto. For her, Song Jiang leaving means she loses the whole arrangement. It's her family's security.
So Nearer, by trying to help Song Jiang leave, is symbolically murdering her economic existence.
It completely elevates this messy domestic fight into a battle for economic survival. From her point of view, the violence is rational. Financial security is life.
And the action is just brutal. Nearer dares her to hit him, so she slaps him twice across the face. Then she locks the door.
Yeah, sealing Song Jiang in the trap. And Yuter is left outside just screaming threats, promising vengeance, ensuring that even if Song Jiang escapes later, the scandal is out. He's totally cornered.
After the dust settles, Mother Yang comes back upstairs, dismissing Nearer as a beggar and a troublemaker. But the main problem is still there. Song Jiang's desire to escape has been exposed.
He's paralyzed. The text calls him a genuine person, which here means he's bound by reputation and convention. The mother's tirade hit upon his real problem, so now he can't retreat without looking like a fool.
He has to stay and play the part.
And Mother Yan tries one last forceful push. She insists that since they haven't seen each other in a while, they must want to sleep early.
But Po Ji, again, just shuts it down. She gives this sharp final word, none of your business, go to sleep yourself. She cuts her mother out of it entirely.
Leaving her alone with the man she despises.
And now we get to the core of Song Jiang's dilemma. We hear his private thoughts, and even after all this contempt, he is still only half believing the affair with Zhang San.
It's a brilliant psychological detail. Why? Because he hasn't seen physical proof.
He's a man who lives by ledgers and paperwork. He can't act decisively on a rumor, even when that rumor has just physically attacked his friend and locked him in a room.
So he decides he has to sleep for a while just to judge her attitude. He's delaying the reckoning, clinging to this hope that proof won't materialize.
He's trapped by his own need for empirical evidence. And Mother Yan delivers the final, totally inappropriate send-off as she leaves.
It is so grotesque. She says, "May the clerk rest well, enjoy much tonight, and rise slowly tomorrow."
An empty wish for intimacy in a room just overflowing with hatred and financial calculation. She secured the position, but she destroyed any possibility of the desired outcome.
Song Jiang is trapped in this situation he just cannot navigate. He's sitting there, hoping Poxy will approach him, that she'll, lean close and speak softly. But the text makes it instantly clear. For her, he's just an eyesore.
A total eyesore. And this is where the story elevates itself beyond, simple melodrama. The reason why she feels this way is critical. Her affections are all for this other guy, Zhang San. So Song Jiang's problem isn't his character or his money. It's just the unchangeable nature of desire.
That's what I find so compelling. This story just pulls back from the action to give us this mini dissertation on desire itself. What does it tell us about its power?
It says that desire is absolute. It's all-consuming. The authors state that if a woman is truly interested in you, nothing, not swords, water, or fire, can stop her. She'll overcome anything to be near you.
And the flip side is exactly what Song Jiang is living through. If she's not interested, the text says you could be, sitting in a pile of gold and silver, and she wouldn't even see you. You're emotionally invisible. which has to be maddening for a guy who's used to so much respect.
Exactly. And it summarizes this with a brilliant, just a brutal proverb that cuts right to the heart of it. It's "需要求care," which means, roughly, a beautiful woman's interest can make a simple villager handsome, but a beauty's lack of interest makes even a sophisticated man seem rustic. Her gaze determines your worth, and in her eyes, Song Jiang is the fool.
And he just doesn't have the tools for this. I mean, despite being a brave hero, a skilled strategist, the text is explicit. It says he will not possess the methods for female sexuality. He's a tactical genius who is just completely emotionally illiterate.
Right. And meanwhile, Poxy has been completely won over by Zhang San, who gives her the exact opposite of what Song Jiang offers. Zhang San provides tender attention and constant compliance, small gestures, flattery. He validates her. So she's totally alienated from Song Jiang.
So that brings us to the night itself. This psychological pressure cooker where neither of them will give an inch. They're sitting opposite each other in total silence. They are danseruat. The air is just thick with resentment.
Yeah, and the author uses this incredible sensory detail to really amplify the alienation. It's not just silence. It's this profound isolation. You get this beautiful but really sorrowful imagery of the moonlight streaming through the window. You hear geese, crickets, and then the sound of iron wind chimes, the ding-dang time-ah, breaking the traveler's heart. Song Jiang is a traveler in his own home.
And then around the second watch, Poxy ends the standoff. She just goes to bed, fully clothed and faces the wall, pretending to be asleep. The message couldn't be clearer. This night is over, and you are irrelevant to me.
And Song Jiang, he's exhausted, mentally drained. He's had a few cups of wine. He just gives up. And his emotional fatigue leads directly to this physical recklessness. He decides to just go to sleep, resolving nothing.
This is the moment. This is where we need to slow down because his personal failure is what opens the security door. He starts to get undressed, he takes off his head cap, his outer clothes, but the fatal move is taking off his official belt, the Luande.
And that belt, the Luande, it's a symbol of his status as a government official, even if he is secretly funding outlaws. And on that belt are two things: a pressing knife, sort of for self-defense, and crucially, the document bag, the Zawande. This bag is for official papers, which makes anything inside it doubly dangerous.
It's the intersection of his two lives, isn't it? The official belt and the secret contents of the bag. And he takes the whole thing off and hangs it on the bed rail, the Longanzi, before sleeping, by her feet.
Right, by her feet. It's the signal of his total defeat in this little battle. And his resentment just grows during the night when he hears her laugh in her sleep. He knows she's dreaming of Zhang San. The text captures it perfectly. Yi-yong-u. Joy hates the night is short. Loneliness hates the watches are long. He's just trapped.
So the moment he wakes up at the fifth watch, he is just running on pure anger. He gets dressed in a fury, curses her, "You wretched, cheap thing, how rude," and just bolts. He doesn't even stop for her mother, Yan Po, who's calling for him to wait till daylight. He just needs to escape.
And that rush, that emotional velocity, is the direct cause of the mistake. He's in such a rage, he doesn't do his personal security check. But what happens next is just a brilliant bit of narrative, connecting a moment of public kindness to his private catastrophe.
Yes, here's the pivot. He's still fuming, rushing through the market, and he runs into an old acquaintance, Wang Gong, who sells a medicinal soup, urchin tang. He stops. He takes a cup to settle his stomach, sort of a physical act to calm his emotional turmoil.
And that moment of calm, it triggers his conscience. As he's drinking, he remembers he promised Wang Gong money for a coffin years ago. This is Song Jiang, the hero, the benevolent one. So he decides right then to pay this old debt using the gold from Chao Gai, gold that's in that document bag.
And that desire to do good, to be the hero everyone thinks he is, immediately triggers the horror. He reaches for the Zawande at his waist, and it's gone.
Total panic. He realizes he left it, hanging right there on the bed rail at Poxy's house. And for him, the money it's secondary. He scoffs, what is the value of these few ounces of gold?
Right. The real threat is the packet inside. The letter from Chao Gai, leader of the Liangshan bandits, detailing everything. It's proof of treason. He even admits to himself he was supposed to burn it, but kept putting it off.
And he knows exactly who has access to it. He recognizes Poxy's dangerous combination of, well, literacy and cunning. He knows she reads some play scripts and knows a few characters, meaning she is absolutely capable of understanding the lethal implications. The situation is, as he thinks, lihai, extremely perilous.
He apologizes to the soup seller and just sprints back, desperate. But it's already too late.
And the author even gives us this little note on the irony of his fate. It's proper that the hero's fate is unfavorable. Forgetfulness is pitiful. The authors are telling us, look, this wasn't an accident. The seeds of this disaster were sown the moment he chose emotional escape over operational security.
Okay, so now we switch to Poxy's side. She wakes up still annoyed, cursing Song Jiang for bothering her all night. But then she sees it. The purple silk belt, the knife, and that heavy Zhao still on the bed rail. She immediately sees an opportunity. First, she thinks the bell will be a great gift for Zhang San.
But the bag is the real prize. She feels the weight, pulls out the contents, and sees this heavy gold bar. And her first thought is just deliciously selfish. Heaven teaches me and Zhang San to buy things to eat. The initial motive is just pure, simple materialism.
But it shifts so quickly from that petty selfishness to cunning leverage. She puts the gold aside and opens the paper wrapper by the lamplight. And what she reads changes everything. She sees the name Chao Gai and the details about 100 ounces of gold sent to Song Jiang.
That's the light bulb moment. She realizes this isn't just gold. This is actionable, state-level evidence of treason. She's no longer just a courtesan. She holds the power of life and death over a high-ranking official. And the source captures her triumph with that famous metaphor. She laughs and says, I only thought the bucket fell in the well, but now the well has fallen into the bucket.
Such a powerful image. She thought she was just going to lose her meager stuff to him. Instead, the whole well, his entire future, his political safety is now under her control. She has all the leverage.
And that solidifies her plan. She's going to use this to force his hand, to demand a formal separation, get her property, and make sure she and Zhang San can be together openly. Her internal thought is so chilling. Dan, I will slowly enjoy torturing you. She's savoring this.
And then, the final tense moment. She hears the gate clang open downstairs. It's him, panicked. And her reaction is just ice-cold calculation. She quickly rewraps everything, the gold, the letter, the knife, the belt, hides it all inside her quilt, and pretends to be sound asleep.
She makes sure she only makes a sound of deep fake sleeping, just enough to be convincing. Song Jiang bursts in, frantically searching. The room looks exactly as he left it, but the most dangerous weapon in the whole story is now resting mere inches away, hidden in the quilt, in the hands of his enemy.
Song Jiang is desperate to get his pouch back. He knows he left it on the bed rail.
And he tries to be gentle at first. He's negotiating, even apologizing for what the text calls his previous night's behavior.
Which suggests the relationship is already pretty rocky, right?
Absolutely. It was on thin ice. He knows he's sort of in her debt emotionally, but she's not just ignoring him. She's engaging in this active power play. First, she pretends to be asleep.
And then when he insists, she just flips the dynamic.
She does. She mocks him. She asks where he supposedly delivered it to her, as if he's making it up or, lost it himself. It's all a deliberate attempt to make him sweat.
It's pure psychological warfare. But she stops playing games when she sees just how desperate he really is.
Exactly. She drops the act and just says it. The old lady took it, but won't give it back.
And that's when the stakes just vault past a simple lover's quarrel.
Way past that. This isn't about jewelry or rent money anymore. It's about his life. The real weapon is revealed when she changes the subject from their personal issues to his criminal enterprise.
She brings up his rival, Zhang San.
She does. But she says something very specific. She says that Zhang San might have his flaws, but he isn't guilty of associating with robbing thieves. And that phrase, "daji zai," that's the bomb she drops.
And that phrase is everything.
It is everything, because it points to the leverage. It points to a sealed letter hidden inside that pouch.
A letter that connects him to whom?
To Chao Gai, the leader of the Langshan Marsh Bandits. For a trusted county official, this connection isn't just career-ending. It's a guaranteed execution. That is the power she's holding.
And his reaction tells you everything you need to know.
It does. He stops arguing completely. He just starts pleading. He says, "Good sister, don't shout. If the neighbor's here, it's not a joke." He gets it. The accusation alone, just the public rumor, is enough to destroy him.
And she knows she has him. She calls it the #1 case in the universe.
And she's not wrong. So he basically says, name your price. He even says he'll agree to 30 conditions. But she only needs 3.
And these 3 demands, as we look at them, they're like a masterclass in escalation. They're designed to ruin him. Moving from, humiliation to complete financial destruction?
Well, the first one is purely personal. It's about forcing him into public humility.
Okay, what is it?
He has to return the original contract, their arrangement, and then write a new document that officially permits her to marry Zhang San. with no future legal challenges from him.
So it's her ticket to a new, legitimate life, and he agrees.
Instantly. This one I can agree to. He just wants the threat to go away.
Okay, so that's demand number 1. What's 2?
Number 2, secures her finances. He has to sign a document confirming that everything he ever gave her, jewelry, clothes, household items, it's all hers forever. He can never ask for it back.
And again, he just agrees. He's willing to give up every material possession to get that letter back.
Right. But then comes demand number 3, and this is where the whole thing just slams into a wall.
This isn't just about setting her up for the future.
No. This is about extracting a very specific, very illegal sum of money that she is sure he has.
The gold.
The gold. 100 ounces of it. 100 liang. A gift from the bandit chief, Chao Gai. She demands it on the spot. Cash for goods, basically. The pouch and the letter in exchange for the gold, now.
And Song Jiang, he flatly denies having it. He claims he was honest. He refused the gift, sent it back.
He even offers this huge compromise. He says, look, give me 3 days. I'll sell my personal property. I'll raise the 100 ounces for you. He's offering to bankrupt himself for her.
But she refuses, and her refusal is, well, it's really the key to the whole scene, analytically. It gives you this cynical window into the entire system.
Oh, completely. She doesn't just call him a liar. She dismisses his denial with an old proverb. Public servants seeing money are like flies seeing blood.
Wow. So she's not just saying he's corrupt. She's saying the whole system dictates that he must be corrupt.
Exactly. In her world, a county official simply cannot be honest. Not when there's gold from a bandit chief on the table. She even mocks him, asking, which cat does not eat fish?
So he's trapped in a paradox. He can't prove he's honest, and she assumes the gold must exist.
Right. And she tells him, if you're worried it's stolen goods, Zai Zhang, just melt it down. The legality means nothing to her. She wants the cash value, and she wants it now.
And his 3-day offer.
She compares it to demanding payment from the funeral mourners after the coffin is gone. It's useless to her. Here I hand over the money, and here I hand over the goods.
He's completely trapped. No way to get the gold, no way for her to wait.
And that's when she delivers the final trigger. It's not about the money anymore. It's the threat.
What does she say?
She says, tomorrow morning when we get to the county office, the gong ting, you could say you don't have the gold then.
The gong ting, the public office.
That's the line. That's the one thing he can't allow her to cross.
Yeah.
The moment he hears that word, knowing that in a few hours his entire life will be publicly dismantled, that's when the rage just erupts.
The negotiation is over.
It's over. And the shift to violence is instantaneous. He starts pulling the quilt off her, trying to get the pouch.
But she's not just holding on to the pouch.
No, she's clinging to something else under the covers. When he finally rips the quilt away, he sees she was hiding an official belt head.
And in the middle of this struggle, a weapon just appears.
It does. A small knife for pressing clothes, a Yai Dao Z, falls out onto the mat. You could call it fate, or maybe just literary convenience, but he grabs it instantly.
And she sees the knife, and she screams.
She screams, hey, San Lang is murdering! And that scream is the final ignition. All that pent-up terror and fury over the letter, the goal, the public humiliation, it all unleashes.
She screams again.
And he's past reasoning. He pins her down, and the knife drops.
Ugh.
The source material is brutally direct about it. One cut to the throat, blood flies out.
It's just pure panicked rage.
Absolutely. He follows it with a second cut to make sure she's dead. The blackmail is over. Permanently.
And the first thing he does isn't run.
No, it's damage control.
Yeah.
He grabs the pouch, rips out the letter, and immediately burns it in the lamp. Then he grabs the stolen belt and runs downstairs.
And this is where the story just gets bizarre.
Truly bizarre. He runs right into Yan Po, the mother. She was sleeping downstairs and heard the screams. And Sung Jiang, still in a frenzy, he just blurts it out. Your daughter was too rude, so I killed her.
What is her reaction? Is it grief? Horror?
It's disbelief at first. She actually laughs nervously when she sees the body.
Yeah.
And once she does, her response is just one of incredible immediate cynicism.
She doesn't scream for help.
No. She says her daughter was indeed bad. But then she frames the whole thing as a financial loss for herself. She's lost her support system.
So a second negotiation starts, just minutes after the first one ended in murder.
You got it. Song Jiang needs to escape, so he promises her a life of comfort, fine food and clothing. He says he'll handle the funeral, buy a coffin, manage everything.
And give her money.
And give her 10 ounces of silver.
And just like that, the mother of a murder victim becomes an accomplice for 10 ounces of silver.
It's a stunning level of cynicism. It tells you so much about survival in their world. She agrees happily, and they make a pact to get it all done before daybreak.
So they leave together, locking the door, heading to the county office to find a coffin maker. They're partners now, bound by this deal.
For a little while, anyway. The agreement only lasts as long as they're in the dark. The second the county gates open at dawn, with the maximum number of people around, she makes her move.
She betrays him.
Completely. She stops, grabs him, and just screams, "There is a murderer here!" The promise of 10 ounces of silver was worth less than public revenge.
He's caught. But then the story takes another incredible twist. The county officials show up, and they recognize him.
They recognize Song Jiang, the respected Yasi, and they refuse to believe the old woman.
His reputation protects him.
It's a shield. The text says, everyone in the county respected him. The officials literally tell Yan Po to shut up. Arresting one of their own would mean admitting the whole system is compromised. They're protecting the institution.
The deadlock gets broken by the worst possible timing.
By a man carrying breakfast. Tang Nuer arrives with a tray of preserved ginger, just trying to get to the market.
An innocent bystander.
Totally innocent. Except he has a grudge against Yan Po. He sees this old woman grabbing his respected superior, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. He intervenes.
He puts down his ginger.
And he gives her this incredibly vivid slap, a sky full of stars slap, and breaks her grip on Song Jiang.
And that's the moment.
That's the pivot. Song Jiang is free, and he vanishes into the crowd. The murderer is gone.
And Yan Po, she can't get the killer, so she grabs the next best thing.
She latches right onto Tang Nuer and starts screaming that he helped the murderer escape.
And the officials, who didn't want to arrest their popular colleague.
They seize the convenient, unimportant, and now completely entangled ginger vendor. It's so much safer, politically, to arrest him.
So they just drag this poor guy, kicking and screaming, into the county office.
Yep. A murder sparked by blackmail and 100 ounces of gold is solved by scapegoating an innocent man who is just trying to defend his boss's reputation.